Hello, my dear children. Children, in the last class, we studied dimensional analysis. We found out units as well as dimensions of so many quantities. Well, units of course have their significance. We exactly come to know how bigger or smaller a quantity is as compared to other. But why do we write dimensions? Why do we write dimensions of various physical quantities? Well, the answer is we write down the dimensions of various physical quantities simply because this dimensional analysis is associated with certain advantages, and these advantages are checking dimensional validity, conversion of units from one system to another, determination of units and dimensions of unknown constants or variables. And finally, derivation of formula. So let's study advantage number 1, that is checking dimensional validity. Children, let us understand the meaning of dimensional validity. A given formula is said to be dimensionally valid or correct when dimensions of its left hand side is same as the dimension of the right hand side. If that be the case, if the dimension of both sides are same, the formula is said to be dimensionally correct or valid. Well, now the question should arise in our mind: why do we check dimensional validity? Why do we check dimensional correctness of the formula? Well, the straightforward answer is when a given formula is dimensionally valid, it may be a correct formula. May be a correct formula. But when formula is dimensionally invalid, it is always an incorrect formula. So what is least required for a formula to be correct is it has to be dimensionally valid. So when a formula is dimensionally valid, it may be or it may not be a correct formula. But when the formula is dimensionally incorrect or invalid, it is altogether rejected. It is absolutely incorrect formula. But why? Why this? This is also because of the fact that every formula contains dimensionless constant, and this dimensional analysis is inapplicable for dimensionless constant. The dimensionless constant which are there in different formulas, we cannot verify whether they are correct or we cannot find out their value. So dimensional analysis is not applicable for dimensionless constant, and this is what is written here. Every formula contains dimensionless constant. Dimensional analysis is not applicable for dimensionless constant. That is why even if the formula is dimensionally valid, it may be an incorrect formula because the dimensionless constant might not be written correctly. Children, let's understand it further with the help of certain examples. This is hashtag 1. T is equal to 2 pi L upon G square root. Well, T is the time period. This is formula of time period of pendulum. Simple pendulum. This is time period of simple pendulum. Now, what is the question? The question is check its dimensional validity. Well, L is length, G is acceleration due to gravity. So what is left hand side? Left hand side is time. So dimension of left hand side is what? Dimension of time, that is t. And right hand side consists of 2 pi L upon T whole square root. 2 pi is dimensionless constant. So there is no dimensional formula for it. We don't write anything here. But L, length has dimensional formula L, and acceleration due to gravity has dimensional formula LT minus 2. We substitute here, we put square root, this L cancels out, and what do we get? We get the dimension of right hand side as t. So you can see dimension of left hand side is same as dimension of right hand side. Therefore, the given formula T is equal to 2 pi L upon G is dimensionally valid or correct. Now see children, the time period of input pendulum, if written like this, T is equal to L upon G whole square root, T is equal to pi L upon G square root, T is equal to pi by 2 square root of L by G, and T is equal to 3 pi L by G whole square root. See, in all the formulas, this dimensionless constant is different. So if we check its dimensional validity, we'll find that all these formulas are dimensionally valid. But we know none of these formulas are correct. This one is the correct formula. Why this one is the correct formula? Because the value of dimensionless constant is correctly mentioned here, and this correctness cannot be checked by dimensional method. Of course, when we derive this formula by its basic derivation, there we come to know what is the value of the dimensionless constant. So, out of these 5 formulas, we cannot say which of the 5 formulas is correct until unless we know that the dimensionless constant has value 2 pi, and that is the correct value of dimensionless constant. So this is example number 2, hashtag 2. A body of mass m is moving on circular path of radius r with speed v. Which of the following is force F acting over the body? There are 4 options. Now see, force is being obtained here by combining mass, velocity and radius, and a different combination of mass, velocity and radius will produce force. So out of these 4 options, only one option would be dimensionally correct. See, in all 4 options, the dimensionless constant is what? 1 each, that is same. So the only way we can see its correctness is by checking its dimensional validity. So if we check the dimensions of left hand side and right hand side, we find that option number 3 has dimensions of force, that is ml2 t1 is 2, ml t1 is 2 left hand side, and right hand dimension is also ml2 t1 is 2. So option number 3 is dimensionally valid. Therefore, this is the correct formula of force. So how we have found out the correct formula? By using the concept of dimensional validity. Children, now let's check dimensional validity in 2 situations. One is this formula, S is equal to ut plus at square. At square. This is a given formula. S is displacement, u is initial velocity, t is time, a is acceleration. So what is, whether the equation is dimensionally valid or not? Let us check it. So what is left hand side? Left hand side is displacement. Left hand side is displacement. Therefore, its dimensional formula is going to be what? L. And what is the right hand side? Right hand side consists of ut. What is dimension of u? That is velocity. Lt minus 1. And what is dimension of t? That is t, the time. Well, the next term is at square. What is acceleration A? Dimensional formula Lt minus 2. And what is dimension of t? That is t itself, and square of it is what? T square. Now see, what is this? This is L, and this term, the dimensional formula is what? Again L. The dimension of the first term is L, dimension of second term is L. So if we add the two, we get the dimension as what? L only. So dimension of left hand side and dimension of right hand side, both are what? Both are equal to each other. And since the dimension of left hand side is same as that of right hand side, therefore given formula is dimensionally valid. See, this formula is dimensionally valid, but it is not correct formula. You know the formula of displacement is what? S is equal to ut plus half at square. You have already studied this formula in class 10. So see, dimensionless constant is not correctly written. Even then the formula is dimensionally valid, but it is not a correct formula. Why it is not correct? Because the volume dimension is constant is not correctly written here. Well, this is the last application of the day. V is equal to pi p r to the power 4 upon 8 eta L. V is volume flux. Volume flux means volume of liquid flowing per second through a pipe. V is the volume of liquid flowing per second through a pipe, and R is the radius of the pipe, L is the length of the pipe, and eta, this is N, it is read as eta. Eta is viscosity of the liquid. Well, what is dimension of left hand side? See, left hand side is volume flux. And what is mathematical definition of volume flux? Volume of liquid flowing per second. That means volume of liquid flowing per second. That is volume flowing per unit time. This is the definition of volume flux. Since this is volume flux, therefore dimension of left hand side is going to be dimension of volume, that is L3, and dimension of time, that is T. Or we can say it is what? L3 T minus 1. This is the dimension of left hand side. Now let us find out the dimension of right hand side. What is right hand side? See, over right hand side we have pi. Pi is dimensionless constant. Pi and even 8. Pi by 8. Both are dimensionless constant. There is no dimensional formula for this. Now P is pressure. P is pressure. This P is pressure. What is dimensional formula of pressure? Dimensional formula of pressure is mL minus 1 T minus 2. This is formula for pressure, which is force upon area. And what is this radius? Radius dimensional formula is L. Power 4 means we put 4 like this. What is this eta? Eta we have already studied, has the dimensional formula mL minus 1 T minus 1. You can refer to the chart you made in the last class. And what is this L? L is length L. Now see, if we solve it, what do we get? This L to the power minus 1 cancels out with this L, this M cancels out with this M, and then what are we left with? We are left with, in the numerator, L to the power minus 1, and this is 3. That is L to the power 3. This is T to the power minus 2, this is T to the power minus 1, and we are left with T to the power minus 1 in the numerator. Now you can see, dimension on the left hand side, L3 T minus 1, right hand side is L3 T minus 1. Since the dimension of left hand side is same as dimension of right hand side, therefore the given formula is dimensionally valid or correct. So this is one of the simplest uses of dimensional analysis. I hope it is clear to everyone. Please practice all the numericals in your textbook, and we'll meet again with advantage number 2 very shortly in the next lecture. So until we meet again, goodbye.